Okay, so we have our arcs completed on the first road. So we've done an arc here. First off, we found point D here, and D is 225 millimeters away, which means I've gone downhill by 15 because the ratio from A to C is 1:15. So as I walk down the road 15 meters, I've gone down 1 meter, which means if I walk along the road 225, I've gone down by 15. And I've worked that out on the left corner of my page down here. Okay, just there. Okay, so the 1:15 as I'm traveling down the road, so I multiply that, the first number by 15, the second number by 15 gives me 225. So I walk along the road 225, giving me D, which means I've gone down 15. Now I started at 50 meters above sea level, and if I've gone down 15 in height, therefore D is going to be 35. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this road, ignoring this road, and I want to do my 2 radii for my arcs. So cut at the butt, which is the bottom of the hill, this is going to be a cut arc, and this is going to be a fill arc. To figure out what radius they are, we take the height difference between the 2 points. The height difference between the two of them is 15, and we put it into our cut ratio. So 1:1.5, 15 times that gives me the radius of my arc. The radius here is 22.5, or equals 22.5. For our fill ratio is 1:1. The height difference between the 2 points is 15. We multiply this ratio by 15. Therefore, the radius of this is going to be 15. I've joined my tangent line to the arc back to this point at the edge of the road at D. Therefore, that red line is going to be 35. Red line here at 35. Blue line there is then going to be at 50. And our blue line here is at 50 also. Okay, so then what we do is we're going to do our spaces. So I'll work on my fill maybe first, and my spaces for my fill I'm going to work out. The fill ratio is 1:1, and my contours are in 5s, so I'm multiplying that by 5. So I'll multiply the whole thing by 5, and my spaces are going to be 5s. So for my red lines, I'm going to measure up here. I'm going to go 5 up, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and down 5, 5, and 5. Our sliding set squares, and we'll create our parallel lines. So I'll come in the road a little bit. And as I'm coming closer to the road, so the road is going downhill this way, and again I'm just going to put in the road a little bit heavier. So the edge of the road is here. I'm going to put this in nice and heavy so that I can see it standing out amongst all my other lines. I'll do the same this way. Now, as I go this way on the road, I get higher numbers. This red line hits this point, which is going to be a higher point on the road than there. So therefore, this number is going to go up to the next contour. So I have my sequence once I have 2 of them, and I can do the same on the opposite side then. So I'm going to go in 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll do 2 inside that one. Use my parallel lines, so set it up to the tangent line, go 1 inside, 1 outside, 2 outside, 3 outside, and 4 outside. And again, the closer I get to the road, the higher I'm going, so that's going to be 40. Forgot to do the second one. 45, 30, 25. So I'm marking my dots here, so wherever my red line hits the 45 contour, which is bang on there, 40, 35. 30 here, 25 and 20. So that hits 35 there. This is going to hit 30, 25, 25, and then 30 comes down this way again, back down to here. Going to go one more inside 45 just so I have an extra additional point, which I already have marked up. I just need to draw it. So sliding set squares set up to my, and that's going to be 50. So where that is the 50 line gives me an extra dot, gives me an additional point for the crisscross. Do the same on the opposite side. So this is 45. Wherever it hits 45, put in a dot. Wherever this one hits 40, 35, 30, 25. I need to extend these down because they're a little bit short. $25, 30, 35, and I want one inside that, which is going to be my 40, so I want to extend that down to here. So that will give me the fill ratio. Okay, my fill I'm going to colour in orange. Closest colouring pencil I have to red. And I'm not just going to colour in here because things might change as I'm doing this road, so I'm just going to pre-colour that there for now. Now the blue lines for the cut. Okay, so I have my blue lines there. My ratio, I'm going to multiply it by 5 because my contours are 5, giving me 7.5. So my spaces are going to be 7.5. So for my blue lines, I'm going to step out by 7.5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Step inside 7.5, 15, and go 3 inside. Set up my set square to the blue line, and this is at 50, so this one's going to be at 55. So it's going to hit the edge of the road at a higher point, so it's going to be down this way. This one's going to be 60. It's going to be down this way. This one's going to be 65. I think I slipped a little bit, so I'm going to reset up. 60, 65. That's 50, 55, 60, 65. Map doesn't go beyond 65, so I don't need to worry about that. And I'm going to go inside, so I'll come inside my original line. That's going to be 45, so I'll need that here. That's going to be 40, I'll need that here. And I won't need any others. So I'm just going to label them up. This is going to be 55, 60, 65. Putting in my dots. There's 65. 60 is going to hit here. 55 hits here. 50 hits here. 45 hits there, and that's my. I'm going to do one more. 40 hits here, so I have an overlapping point to gain marks, and the green area is my fill. Let's do the same on the opposite side of the road. So 7.5s is my spaces. So blue 7.5s. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. We go 3 inside. So 1, 2, 3. Set up to the original blue line. This is going to be 55, so that's going to go here in this space. 60 is going to go here in this space. 65 is going to go there in that space. Go one inside, it's going to be 45. 2 inside is going to be 40, and that hits inside the road, so I have enough points. So again, I'm going to label them up. So 50, and this goes 55, this goes 60, 65. This will be 45 and 40. Put in my dots. So where does that hit? 40 crosses here. Where does that cross? 45 there. Where does the 50 cross to 50 here? 55 crosses 55 there. 60 crosses 60, and 65 crosses 65 there. So that's my cut activity here.
Could Yannick and Alejandro come to the front door, please? Yannick and Alejandro.
There we have that. So that is that road finished. I'm now going to concentrate on this road, but again I need 2 points on this road like I did with this one. So I started with A that was given to me, and I found D. And on this road I'm going to rotate D around, pivot around the center of the road. So I'll take my compass and pivot D around the center road. You can go in either direction, doesn't matter. Pivot around the center road. I'm going to extend that road on. Okay, or you could go in the opposite direction. You could put D there, doesn't really matter. Okay, because that circular height is always the exact same height no matter what. So D is here at 35. What I'm going to do then is take my ratio of 1 is to 15 for my fall. Okay, and I'm going to walk up this way in a multiple of 1 is to 15. So if I multiply that by 10, I'll walk along the road 150. Will that suit my map? Absolutely. Walking along 150 gets me to this point, which I label as E, and that would be 10 meters below where I started. So I started at 35, 10 meters below that is at 25. Now same thing, we need to now do our radius in arcs. So my cut ratio is 1 is to 1.5. The height difference between D and E is 10, so therefore my radius is going to be 15 for my cut. I cut at the butt and I fill at the hill. This is the bottom point, so that's therefore where I'm going to cut. So I'll step out 15. I'll create my arc or cone base, like so. I'll do the same on the opposite side of the road. And that is radius 15. So I did the cut activity in blue the last time, so I'm going to do the cut activity in blue this time. And again, I'm just going to extend the road on this way. This time using light black, okay. And I will draw in my tangential line. There's my tangential line. Hitting the edge of the road. It hits the road at 35, so therefore it's going to be associated with the 35 contour. Same on the opposite side. Now if I look at the map, this is 35 and this is 30, oh sorry, it's 25, and in between those spaces I have going downhill. This in here may possibly be, it's below the road, so I might have to fill in this area, and I'm going to have to cut in that area. So you are going to have to do both. So this is going to be my cut area here, and this is going to be my fill area here, and at least I know that then for doing my map. Okay, so I can kind of position my blue and red lines differently. So again, I know my spaces for my cut are 7.5s, so I'll step out by 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. I'm going to step in by two 7.5s, so there's 1 and 2. Hello, how are you?
Should I print something in here?
You can. I'm just recording a video at the minute.
Oh, that's
if that's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'll be with you in 2 minutes. Is that okay?
I'll do it later.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I've set up my parallel line here, and I'm going to draw. So again, my cut is going to be in this area, so I'm going to keep my lines towards there just to reduce the confusion. So that is at 50. This is going to be, no, sorry, that's at 35. That's incorrect. That's at 35. Oh, that was a different one, yeah. That's at 35. This is going to hit a lower point, so that's going to be 30, that's going to be 40, 45, and 50. Okay, so I'm marking those dots. So where does that hit the 30? It crosses here at 30. 35 crosses 35 here. 40 crosses 40 there, and 45 crosses 45 there. So that's my... Now again, I don't want it to stop there. I want to do an additional point because I want it overlapping. So I'll set it up to my 35, and then I'll just bring it inside by my next measurement. And I need that to cross the 25 lines. Wherever it crosses the 25 line, I'll give me my next point, which is there. And that's for that. Okay, so that's a cut activity. We've done our cut in green, so our green is going here. Do the same on the opposite side of the road. And I'll just step out by 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. I'll come in by 7.5 as well, and I'll go out one more. Set up my parallel line, so set this up to the edge of the road, or the edge of the blue line, sorry. And that's going to go in this direction, so that's going to hit a higher point, so that's going to be 40. So I need that information here, more so than anywhere else. 35, I'm going to go 30, I'm going to leave that down here, and then I'm going to go 25, which is going to be down here. So I'll put in 30 and 25. I'll put in my dots, so wherever 35 crosses 35, wherever 40 crosses 40, wherever 30 crosses 30, and wherever 25 crosses 25. So this is what my question will look like. Again, I've got extra overlapping point. Just going to do that nice bold black, just so it's visible. And again, a little bit of colour here for the green. And then I'm going to do my fill activity. So here's D. My fill activity is going to be down at D. I'm going to work out my ratio. So the height difference between the two of them is 10. The height difference is 10. So I'll multiply my ratio by 10. Therefore, I'm going to get a 10 millimeter radius. Step back by 10. Draw in my radius.
Good job.
And I will join this up to the edge of the road now, and I'm doing this in red. So everything gets very confusing. It's hitting the road at 25, so I write 25 on it. And my spaces I know from before are in 5s. So I step out by 5, 5, 5. I'll do the same on the opposite side. 5, 5, 5. And I want to draw my parallel lines here, so I set this up. Now, this will hit the road at a point like this, so that's going to be a higher point, so therefore that's a higher number. That's going to be a lower number. And I'm going to put in my dots. Wherever it says 15, which doesn't exist. Okay, 20 doesn't exist, 25 does exist, so I'm going to hit that here and here. One second. And then my 30 hits. I marked them off incorrectly. That's 25 and 25, and then 30 is going to hit here. So because that crosses there, all I need, and I can colour that in there. So that's my orange, that's my fill. And my fill on this side is going to be parallel to this. Very short. Red pen. 30 and 35. So that hits the 25 here and here. And my next number is going to be 30, so that's going to hit the 30 here and here. Now, keep track of them, guys. Easier said than done. But that should look something like that. And that is an orange activity there as well. So, colour that in orange. Colour that in orange. That's in green. That's in green. And done!